Chaim Livracha, Chodesh Tov, with Chodesh Iyar, following Chodesh Nisan, month of miracle. We're continuing with miracles because the miracle of Chodesh Iyar is that Hashem is your healer. Ani Hashem Rofecha. What's the difference if Hashem is the healer? Hashem is always the healer. Have you ever thought of that? The other months Hashem is not the Rofecha, Hashem is not the healer. What's the answer? What does the pasuk come? Kol hamachala asher samti b'Mitzrayim lo asim alecha ki ani Hashem rofecha. All the disease that I've put on Mitzrayim, I will not put on you. Why? Because I am a healer. So when Hashem heals, when the healing comes directly from Hashem, there's no disease to begin with. Kol hamachala asher samti b'Mitzrayim lo asim alecha. You're never getting sick. That's the type of refuah that comes directly from Hashem. And that can essentially come, especially come, following a month of Nisan, a month of miracles, a month of redemption, a month of experiencing freedom, and matzah, which is the bread of emunah. So your emunah has matured so much that now you understand that the real refuah comes directly from Hashem in a way that lechatchila, the Rebbe would say, lechatchila, you're never getting sick. And that goes very well together with the day that comes right after Aleph Iyar. What's the day that comes after Aleph Iyar? The base Iyar. Base Iyar, the second day of Iyar, is the birthday of the fourth Chabad Rebbe, the Rebbe Maharash, Rabbi Shmuel, by whom the famous Hasidic saying was saying, Lechatchila Riber, was said Lechatchila Riber. What's Lechatchila Riber? The Welt sagt, dass wir kennen nicht darunter geht man Riber. The word said, no, that's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean that.
You're gonna have to
edit it out. You have to take over Mendy's place then.
Yeah. You can't.
Some things don't need.
You can't. Yeah. No, you can't. You can try. The Olam Zog, the Welt says, the world says that if you cannot go under, you go above. And I say, says the Rebbe Maharash, and every time the Rebbe quoted the Rebbe Maharash, even the Sikh of Chavches Nisan, the Rebbe said, the Welt sagt, wir können nicht darunter gehen, Rebbe, und ich sag, the Rebbe Maharash, und ich sag, und ich, like the Rebbe would like kind of, I say, mumble, like from saying like, and I say, but the Rebbe Maharash said that he says that I say, and the Rebbe repeated, kind of like as if the Rebbe couldn't say it straight, but really it sounds like the Rebbe completely embodied completely. So the Rebbe is like, und ich sag, and the Rebbe Maharash says, ich sag, as ich, and I say that the Rebbe Maharash would say that I say, now, before we're getting into this, the Rebbe Maharash never said it. It's not a saying of the Rebbe Maharash. There's a story that the Frierdiker Rebbe writes in a letter to someone who's writing to him about things, the way he feels down about. I don't want to give too much. I remember reading the letter. It comes as a story in the letter. I can't remember for sure what it was about, but the Frierdiker Rebbe is saying, like my grandfather, the Rebbe Maharash, once said to a Chassid, Welt sagt, dass mir nicht darunter geht mit der Riber, und ich sag, says the Rebbe Maharash, als ich sag, as Lechatchila Riber. So the Frierdiker Rebbe quotes a story about his grandfather that he would say Lechatchila Riber. Comes the Rebbe and makes from this such a big deal that the Rebbe not only says like this is the famous saying of the Rebbe Maharash, as if it's whole. This is the nickname of the Rebbe Maharash. His nigun is called Lechatchila Riber. And the Rebbe says, as we see the way it's spread. מקובל אצל החסידים הפסגה מרמלס יום ההולדס בספירס תפארס שבתפארס. עניין זה קשור גם מהנהגה המיוחדת באופן לכתחילה הריבר כפסגמו המפורסם. מה פסגמו המפורסם? איגרס הקדש אדמו"ר מהריי"צ חלק א' עמוד תר"ז י"ז ועוד. אוקיי? Und was die Welt sagt, dass man nicht darunter geht mit der Riber, und ich sage, dass man darf lechatchila Riber. Sheim lechatchila tzach lechas lemaila. Anyways, so the Rebbe quoted on the Sikh of Chavches, but when you hear the Rebbe saying it, you hear. Anyway, so from Nisan, we go to Chodesh Iyar, which Chodesh Iyar is the refuah, the healing that comes directly from Hashem. The refuah that comes directly from Hashem is in a way that כל המחלה ששמתי במצרים לא ישים עליך דלכתחילה. From the beginning, we're never sick. That's the way Hashem heals. Not that the person gets sick and then he needs to recover. And so then, in general, the month of Iyar is a month that each month have their own unique characteristics and avodah, and way. But obviously, the way the month of Iyar is, it's a direct continuation from Nisan. Also, there's something that links Nisan, Iyar, Sivan. Is that what links Nisan, Iyar, Sivan?
A sphere.
Sfirat HaOmer. Shavuot is not, the date of Shavuot is not the 6th of Sivan. You know that. You know what's the date of Shavuot? 50 days after the count of the Omer. 50 days from the day after Pesach. There's no date in the Bible as per when should Shavuot be. Did you ever know that?
That's why when you fly if you come from Australia.
If you come from Australia, you skip a day.
Oh, that's if you go the wrong way.
If you come the wrong way, you do Shavuot a day early. Yeah.
A day earlier? Yeah. Because for you it's counted like that.
Yeah.
No, my own.
After 50 days, it's Yom Tov.
And if you don't find a minyan, how does it work?
No, there
Still, not allowed to do a melacha. But in Karnais, in Jerusalem, and all these places, they have but there is another technical. It's another technical aspect of Shavuos. In the time that Bnei Israel would establish a new month, according to when they would actually see the new moon appear in the sky, and would have to have 2 witnesses to see it, and come to the Beis Din, and the Beis Din would then declare Rosh Chodesh. So months were very, very flexible. There was some months who were 29 days, some months were 30 days, sometimes 2 months in a row it was 29 days because the moon appeared. Sometimes 2 months in a row, 30 days. So here, depending on when is Rosh Chodesh Iyar and when is Rosh Chodesh Sivan, which imagine that each one can be either Chavtet, Lamed, or Aleph, like it can be sometimes pushed off. Amim, the Gemara says sometimes Shavuot would be on Dalet and Hey and Vav or Zayin. Shavuot will not. Most of the years until we started counting with the mathematical calendar that Shmuel in the time of the Mishnah in Gemara did, and we know the birth of the new moon, we know the molad for the next thousands of years technically, because we know the cycle of the moon and we know exactly when the moon is. But before that, the mitzvah according to Torah is Chodesh Hazeh Lachem Rosh Chodashim. What's the mitzvah of Kiddush HaChodesh? To see the actual moon, and then to declare that it's Rosh Chodesh. So then every month was you never knew when was Rosh Chodesh going to be. So regardless of when Rosh Chodesh is, you still have to celebrate Shavuot 50 days after the 50th day of counting of the Omer.
It was also by Masuan.
Rosh Chodesh.
Yeah.
Once they declared Rosh Chodesh, they had to turn on torches to let people know, and then they stopped the torches because people
Was gonna get
they faked it. The tzdukim, the apikosim,
Right.
they turned on torches.
You should kill a minute.
Yeah, fake news existed always.
Alternative facts.
Yeah, they hacked the system. That's regarding this uniqueness of the month of Iyar. There's also something very unique about the month of Iyar. Can someone help me with that? Something that we only have in the month of Iyar.
The entire month is mitzvah. No?
Can you repeat that?
The entire month is filled with one mitzvah.
One specific mitzvah that only 1 month has. This idea that every single day there is a mitzvah specific to the time. Are you familiar with any other mitzvah that the mitzvah is to count? There's a mitzvah here to count.
so it's only the Tzviat Omer.
Only Sfirat Omer. Do you know any other mitzvah? There's actually a mitzvah of counting 7 years. Shemitah. So you are counting 7 times 7 years. Besides that, do you know a mitzvah of counting? For example, do you know any mitzvah that it's a mitzvah to eat?
There's a lot of them.
Korban Pesach,
Kabbalas in general.
Kabbalas.
Shabbat.
No, it's not a mitzvah to eat.
Why? It's a mitzvah to.
No, it's a mitzvah to honor Shabbos.
And how do you honor?
Yom Tov.
When you eat good food.
Why? But he says that
Do you make a bracha, Baruch Atah Hashem? Do you make Asher Kiddushanu Lechol Couscous b'Shabbos?
Okay, so Alachelis Matzah, there you go.
Oh,
Maror Matzah.
the only mitzvah we have left that it's a mitzvah to eat is matzah. Maror is the side dish of the Korban Pesach. But the matzah also is, because al matzah is sumurim yochlu, but because there's another pasuk that says ba'erev toichlu matzos, so a separate mitzvah to eat matzah besides eating Korban Pesach. So eating matzah is a mitzvah. There's the only mitzvah we have today, that it's a mitzvah to eat. And before you eat matzah, what do you say? 2 brachot. First bracha, motzi lecha min haaretz, because you're going to eat bread. And then Asher Kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu achilat matzah. So that's interesting. Also, mitzvahs that take your entire body.
Wait, but lanot, no? Like when you eat like the perot.
Yeah. No. What bracha do you make on the strawberry? On a grape? No, what אתה אומר? ברוך אתה? ברוך אתה? השם? תגיד. אתה לא אומר אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו לאכול פרי הגפן. זה לא, הוא לא חייב אותך לאכול. He didn't force you to eat. When you eat, you say thank you.
So let's say you don't have wine or bread on Shabbos.
You daven, Shabbos.
Do you make Kiddush?
No, your davening is the Kiddush. Mekadesh Shabbos in davening.
So make Kiddush on the Chag. I'm saying.
Yeah, but if you don't have, even if you're fasting, no, you're allowed to fast on Shabbos, but then you have to fast because you're fasting on Shabbos. Do you know that? You're not allowed to fast on Shabbos. The exception is, it's Allah and Shulchan Aruch. The exception is atavat chalom, tanit chalom. If someone had a bad dream Friday night, and wakes up and he's like devastated, back in the days, there was no magazines, no radio, no novels to read.
So you didn't have something to imagine.
No internet,
It was just a dream.
no private device. When someone had a dream, it was like, oh God, this is about to happen. So the person would wake up, and like if he was very anxious and worried, would bring people together and do atavat chalom. Like you still have it in the siddur. You ever see? But today there's nothing. I know people ask the Rebbe many times about dreams. The Rebbe had a dream. The Rebbe said, "Divrei chalomot," which is from the Mishnah, "Lo ma'alin velo moridin." Doesn't make it worse. Doesn't make it better. You come to someone. I had a dream that we got married. You might bashert. People do that. People come to a girl's like opening Igod Kodesh. It says Shter Nasara, Mazal Tov. We're married. That's not how you date. I'm sorry, like that. So Divrei Chalomot lo ma'alin velo moridin. You can't rule from a dream. It could be inspiration for you. It could be scary for you. But basically, the Rebbe would say people think about so many things during the day. Most of their dreams are affected by it. If you want to understand more in depth the concept of dreams, you look in Chumash Bereshit. Talks a lot about dreams. Avram dreamed. Yitzchak had a dream. Yaakov had many dreams. Yosef had dreams. Paro had dreams. So there's a lot of dreams over there. There's a sikha of the Rebbe that explains why there were dreams then. It was a level of nevuah, a level of prophecy. And over there, Rabbeinu Bechaye in his Pirush on the Chalomot of Yosef, I think, he explains different levels of dreams. Like, why would a person dream? He said the first thing is what you have seen or thought during the day. Second thing is the food you're eating. He has a very fascinating thing. He says, based on the food you're eating, especially at night, if you're eating spicy, hot, salty, fatty, like non-healthy food, the closer you eat it to your moment of sleep, he says the following. And again, I'm not a nutritionist or scientist but it's very obvious to understand it. He says those food send sour fumes, sour steam to your brain. Edim.
Edim?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Of course, when you have harif, you sweat.
Yeah.
By the way, you were talking about alcohol before. Spicy food is an addiction. Spicy food is an addiction. And what does alcohol do? The strength of the alcohol hits your brain and numbs certain parts. The spicy food numbs parts of your brain or awakens of senses that you need to. I mean, I like spicy food. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, it could be different. It could be the guts. It could be a lot of things. It could be a blood, just like caffeine. Listen, we are what we eat, correct?
Yeah.
And we reproduce who we are. So you reproduce what you eat. Like that, this sign in Manhattan. I remember years ago, there's a restaurant on Lexington Avenue, and covered the entire window with a massive cow on the field eating grass. And it said, like, you are what she is. It's a good one, huh? Because you're eating meat, but if the cow is eating junk and garbage, like and pest and antibiotics and all the stuff they give in, and GMO and all the stuff, then you're eating junk. This cow is eating grass, so you're eating yeah. So he says that the food we eat affects our mind, not only during the time we're awake, but also and mainly when we're asleep. So dreams can come from many aspects, and the Rebbe would say, generally speaking, don't deal with it. Now, there are certain people it won't help to tell them don't deal with it because they are dreamers to begin with, right? And so you give tzedakah. You had a bad dream, you give tzedakah, you say Kapitel Tehillim. Back to what I was saying, if a person wakes up Shabbos morning and had a bad dream, even though you're not allowed to fast off Shabbat because it says V'karata la Shabbat oneg, right? What is oneg? It means pleasure. You know that oneg is the opposite order of letters of nega. Nega. Because in the nega, really, if you're able to reveal the light, you will see that there is oneg, right? And sometimes you can be doing the right thing, but if you don't do it in the right order, instead of being an oneg, can become a nega. Nega is a plague, right? A wound. Same thing with the letters of the word minhag. Minhag, if you don't do it properly, is otiyot Gehinna. Right? Like I was talking to a friend today, and we had a class on the phone with another friend. And I don't know, we spoke about they said this year on Pesach, my rabbi said I can drink Coca-Cola without the Echsher of Pesach, because if you're Sephardi, Coke is made with corn syrup is kitniyot, and the guy said my father is the one who supervises Coke. And so eating kitniyot, you can have Coca-Cola. So they ate Coca-Cola, and then the husband says, we can have corn. We never bought corn. So he thought, then his wife calls her mother-in-law, like, your son said you can have corn. So the mother like, we never ate corn. But the rabbi said we can have Coca-Cola that has corn. So, and the guys were saying, like, the whole Pesach, we're fighting about minhagim, and every year we have the same question, and we call our parents, and our parents say, you know that. So I told them a story that there was guys in shul who were fighting over when do you put the Sefer Torah? You say Kaddish before, after Kaddish, before Kaddish, the Mishnah. You say, when do you say the Mishnah, the second Sefer Torah, first you put it down, then you say the Kaddish, first you say the Kaddish, you put it down, you do Hagbah, then you put it, whatever you do, you're always going to say, no. So they were fighting in the shul, and they said, like, there's an old man in the shul, like he's 87 years old, he's been around for a long time. Ask him what's the minhag instead of fighting. So they went over and said, Rabbi, like, what's the way to do it? Do we do first the Sefer Torah or first the Kaddish? what's the minhag? So I said, like this. So they're like, what do you mean like this? Like this or like that? I said, like this, like this. Like this, what? It's exactly like this. So what do you mean? He said, exactly what they did all those years. They fought on the minhag. What's the minhag? The minhag is to fight over it. That's the minhag. Yeah, whatever you do, there's someone has to say something. Anytime I don't.
Should have gotten the book.
What?
Should have gotten the book.
Got in the book.
No, got the book from the store. The one that says everything, like walkthrough.
Yeah, but when you get the book, what happens? Then there is a Iber Chacham in your house. Could be your son or your son-in-law or your uncle, your father-in-law, or your wife. Could say, it's a mistake. Chabad, Tafshinun Beis, the Rebbe said, we don't do it like this. then you don't do it, you come to the next day and say, in the back of the Yem Yem, it says that even though it's not Minag and Dalter, we didn't bring in the seal, Minag Chab, it's only Minag Beis Sarab, what we're supposed to say. But whatever, Minag Chabad is that whatever you think you know, it's not like that. No, there's a few steps. First Minag Chabad, you know what Minag Chabad? Whatever everybody does,
Do the opposite.
we do the opposite. If everybody does something, we don't do it. If everybody doesn't do anything, we're the only ones doing. That's Minag Chabad by definition. I mean, I can list it, right? There's plenty. Now, in Chabad itself, whenever you think you know that this is Minag Chabad, no. This is Minag Chabad in Sefer Minhagim, but Sefer Minhagim is Tafshin Gimel. After the Nesius, the Rebbe told Rabbi Gorner that,
No more.
yeah. But then, Tafshin Chav Gimel, when the guy came to the Rebbe, he told the Rebbe said, to keep on doing it. But then the Rebbe wrote in the Rishimis, and then, whatever you think, and then you won't figure it out. So back to Shabbat. So a person has a bedroom on Shabbat, even though you're not allowed to fast on Shabbat because Katar Shabbat oneg, we said. Nevertheless, because a person, if he's not going to fast, he's not going to enjoy Shabbat. And Shabbat is you meant to enjoy. You hear that? You're not allowed to fast off Shabbat on Shabbat because you're meant to enjoy Shabbat. But this guy, if he's going to not fast, he's not going to enjoy himself because he feels so bad about the dream that he's going to feel better if he's able to fast. So Torah says, Halacha says, he's allowed to fast on Shabbos. But because he transgressed the mitzvah of Oneg Shabbat, after Shabbos he has to fast. To repair for missing on the mitzvah of Oneg Shabbat.
So you can't make up on Shabbat. It's on Shabbat after.
No, you make up Oneg Shabbat by not eating. You did not eat that on Shabbos, you won't be eating it.
Yeah, it would be nicer
Yeah.
if you just eat on Sunday.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Yeah, you gotta come. You're gonna take out all the dips and all the Monday night. Let's have Shabbos. I mean, I have to say, Chabad Hasidim invented a new patent. Farbrenging. Real Farbrenging feels like Yom Tov. When you sit down by a real Farbrenging, bunch of people, Farbaisen, food, nigunim for hours, and you're sitting by the table, you speak.
Talking about the French, not American. They have nothing.
No, I'm talking about Hasidim. Not only about the food, like you're sitting down, you forget about everything and you're into it, and it's something, it's magic. What a Farbrenging does is really, really something magic. On the highest scale, what the Farbrenging has the ability to accomplish by a person, the biggest brainstorming session or group therapy or coaching won't accomplish what a real Farbrenging can accomplish. Anyways, so that was just to give a few examples. We said the mitzvah of eating. There used to be the korbanot. There were mitzvah to eat. But now, mitzvah of matzah is the only mitzvah that we have that's a mitzvah to eat. It's a mitzvah of counting the Omer, counting the Shemitah, counting the Yovel. Then there's a mitzvah to give maaser. How do you give maaser? You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Va'asiri yeh kodesh. But you don't make a bracha when you're counting. The mitzvah is to give maaser. You just have to give the 10th. But there's another mitzvah of counting. It's the mitzvah of nidar, which is really the mitzvah of zavak gdola. Minatorah zavak gdola. Zavak gdola. It says that after she stops seeing blood, Ve'im tahara mizovar, once she's purified from her flow of bleeding, of the zava, not the nida, according to Torah, we'll explain this eventually. What we do today for women on their cycle is not the biblical way of applying nida. We apply to every single woman today the case of zava gdola, which is the most extreme case in the Torah. And zava gdola needs to keep 7 days clean after she established that she stopped bleeding. So the Torah says, "V'safra la shivat yamim ve'achar titha." She has a mitzvah obligation to count 7 days, and then she's pure. And there is a big discussion in Rishonim and Achronim, not in the Gemara. The Gemara doesn't say you're supposed to make a bracha. There is a discussion in Rishonim and Achronim whether or not a woman should make a bracha during the Shiva Nekim. The discussion in Gemara whether a woman should make a bracha every morning when she does a b'dikot for Shiva Nekim. So the conclusion is a safek brachot le'akel. So we're not going to make a bracha because we don't have a source for it, but it's definitely a mitzvah. And some say that they should say without Hashem's name, Baruch. Or some say, not without Hashem's name. Some say, I think the Trumat Hadeshen or the Badei Ashura, I forget who said that. I haven't looked inside for a long time. But some say is that some women count every day. Hayom, Yom, Sheni, Lesfirat Shayin Nekim. Hayom, Yom, Shlishi, Lesfirat Zayin Nekim, etc., etc. But what do we see from here? Something very interesting. What we're doing on the Omer and what a woman does, to become pure is the same thing. We are Hashem's women. We are Hashem's wife. We were impure. And Hashem gave us Shiva Nekim times Shiva, 7 times 7. And if you count 7 times 7 properly, you make sure you're clean. Then I'm ready to give you the Torah. I took you out. I took care of you. I made sure you're safe. I took you under my wings. I need you to grow, to become more mature. I want you to reach a point that you established your purity, and now you are becoming a vessel to receive what I have to give to you. I have a lot to give. I need to see that you are prepared. That's the idea of Sfirat HaOmer, which is very similar to what the woman does by counting 7 days. We just count 7 days times 7. To be continued, Bezrat Hashem.